when it comes to
Mhm.
mind control and things of that nature. I think algorithms, like we're saying,
Mhm.
have a lot to do with this as well, especially when you're looking at social media and the mass majority of Americans where they're getting their entertainment and everything else is online now. It's not through
Mhm.
cable companies, it's not through the TV. They're looking at their phones or they're streaming something to their TV. It's
Mhm.
Netflix, it's things of this nature, or it's social media, and that's a huge form of the mind control techniques and the technology that's being implemented today. And it's been implemented since the dawning of these technologies for these very purposes. I mean, look at the internet and Facebook and YouTube, all DARPA creations.
Absolutely.
This was all meant to gather information from us and steer society in certain directions.
Mhm.
Now, you said that you had recently come across information that there is some kind of technology that they're using for mind control at the South Pole Station.
Absolutely. Yep. There's the ELF, which is the extra low frequency range. There's a system that they have at the South Pole that is not de-energized. It's up and running. This is a component that is, I guess we would put on the, the most wanted list for, when people talk about the possibility of mind control, this is one of the components. So I'm trying to scream from the hills for folks, look at the world around us. Is everybody that you know operating precisely the way you knew them to be for the decades that you knew them, or are they a little bit off right now?
Yeah, I think you're right. There's
These
plenty of people I
reasonable
grew up with.
questions.
Hmm.
There's a gentleman that I've been putting information about. His name is Dr. James Giordano, and he's a neuro weapons and bio weapons specialist, and he speaks so well on the topic that West Point brings him in to speak to the cadets so that they're abreast of what's the tip of the spear in that industry for weaponry that they're going to have to lead their troops into war against to be prepared for. So he's not talking about theoreticals. He's talking about the things that exist that the troop leaders will have to deal with.
Now, is this gentleman where you got this information from, or is this
It's
something
it's
that you?
cross referencing basically. I mean, I have information from my own experiences at the South Pole, and it's folks like this that are saying, hey, these are the systems that our enemies have, right? I'm certain that in those countries, these weapon systems are secreted.
Right.
I'm trying to let people know that these technologies are also in our hands. I've worked at facilities that possess them. I would imagine we have defense systems against offense systems and vice versa. These are the ways of war. We don't learn about these systems until many years later. The F 117 was active in the late 60s, early 70s. We didn't hear about it until the Gulf War. So this is how the world works. I was at the South Pole Station. I discovered that some of the science technology is also doing other things that put it on the list of directed energy weapons.
All right, I want to
We as
talk
a
about
people,
the directed energy weapons in a second, but
yeah, well, that's
what?
the mind control.
Well,
That's, I mean, it's the
okay,
same
so
thing.
this is the actually the same thing. Now let's get into what do you think is behind this technology, what they're using, and how it affects people.
It's a matter of an understanding of energy and frequencies. I mean, it's really that simple. We know that there's portions of the brain that are receptors. And if you can transmit to them, they don't care where the information's coming from. They're just taking it in as info. So it really just boils down to an understanding of how the human body works, how energy works, and how transmitting information works. And once you have that holy trinity down, they can both gather information from the head and transmit into it as well. These are
Mm.
referenceable, known sciences that are on the table right now for nations to use against each other. We are currently in a state of war. A lot of folks just haven't realized it yet.